Oh, no. Okay. Well, we're back with Challenge Overload. Um, this is actually going to be the last video of Season 2. As you can see, the days played counter reset, and when I pause it, it no longer is paused. That is because I am on Minecraft Realms right now. That's why the day counter reset too. Um, I'm just seeing for now. If it's gonna crash. We're just gonna kind of explore around. But this world is going to be deleted. And, kind of sucks because it did have a nice spot with sunflower fields. Now, I didn't fail any challenge, which normally is the reason for, which should be the reason why, the world gets deleted. But it had crashed many times so far. And so I decided, why not see what happens on Realms? And, well, if it works on Realms, then that might be a solution, a good solution for, this whole challenge thing. Because I really wanted to do this, but because the day counter reset, kind of can't do this. The last world, the last time we were on this world, it just kept on crashing, and I had went down to a cave and fought some zombies. And there was a skeleton that a zombie killed, and then there was a creeper. And the creeper exploded, and in the video you can actually hear the hiss of the creeper. But then the stream had crashed. But unfortunately, because I do not want to remember like exactly what day I'm on, and I know that I have some day sensitive challenges, I am saying that the best thing to do is to actually restart, which sucks. Flower field, sunflower field, nice areas to build in and just collect resources at. And the fact that I had a nice challenge that needed a lot of collection stuff. It was a lot of the dyes. It would have been great, but I had tried everything that I could. I removed some add-ons to make it work, but even that didn't work out in the long run, and so unfortunately it is a goodbye to this world. We didn't do too much in this world though, because it kept on crashing. So while it is kind of sad, it is kind of not as sad as it could have been. It would have been way more sad if we had actually did a whole lot of work in this world on a whole lot of stuff, but the fact that this world is crashed so many times, you're not gonna come up, okay. The fact that this world crashed so many times just means that it's not gonna be too sad. Watch me go down there and then it's just like rushed up on me. That's even worse. You were the reason for the crash. Well, not you, but your kind. Well, so the challenges that we were going to complete was that I had to make a pretty house, a nice crop garden, and beat the Ender Dragon in 200 days. Ah! No! Close the door! Close the door! Close the door! Oh my gosh. But I had to do that. So when the day counter reached days played 200, that would be the end of it. Hi. Of course. Anyways, we're not gonna fix that because might as well not. Oh, you're after me still. Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna. Yep. Well, we had that, and then the second challenge was to pick a non-tameable pet and to make sure that it stays alive. And if the non-tameable pet didn't stay alive, then that would result in a fail. That's why I had that name tag to name a pet. The third challenge that we didn't get to complete was no running on days 12 through 19, which is one of the time-sensitive challenges that encourages the restart of the world instead of actually going through with it. Because I think I was on day like 7 or something after well, before I put this on my Realm server. But yep, that encourages no running on days 12 through 19 was definitely a time sensitive one that cannot just ignore the times. And then the fourth challenge was to get a full single chest of meat. Didn't matter what type, could be mixed types, but it had to be a full single chest. And then there was the 5th challenge, which was to never destroy the silverfish spawner, which was going to make it a lot harder. But that was one of the challenges. And then there was the 6th challenge, which really is where the flower forest and swamp areas would have helped out with, which was the it was to get a stack of each dye. And that's where with all the different types of flowers in a flower forest, it would have helped out. And then the 7th challenge would have been to only use wooden stuff and poor food choices like rotten flesh or potatoes or beetroots on days 60 through 70. Which that also was time sensitive, which meant that I really needed the day counter working. And then there was the 8th challenge to get all meats in Minecraft. So every last type of meat, no matter how hard it was to get it, I would have had to get it. And the 9th challenge was another time sensitive, not specific days, but whenever I decided to activate it, it was that I only had to eat rotten. I was only allowed to eat rotten flesh for 20 days. The 10th challenge would have been a pretty tough one, which would have been to put a creaking heart next to the base, which meant I would have had to find a pale garden and get a creaking heart and bring it back to my base along with the saplings, or at least the woods, to make it work. So there'd always be a creaking near my base. And then there was also the challenge of getting a stack of each wool, the 11th challenge that I was to complete. I would have had to get an entire stack of all 16 wool colors, which is much harder than you'd think, especially if you're not paying attention at first. And then the 12th challenge would have been to complete a Blazing Caves Super Challenge, which the Blazing Caves Super Challenge was done at random and was to obtain a stack of beacons, which definitely would have been a pretty hard challenge, considering that meant fighting the Wither 64 times, which would have been which needed 3 Wither skeleton heads each time. And to get Wither skeletons is a low Wither skeleton heads is a low chance from Wither skeletons, which means I would have had to fight a whole lot more Wither skeletons, and then mine a whole stack of obsidian. Well, a whole 3 stacks of obsidian, actually. And then there was also the 13th challenge, which would have been to contain a creeper to display. Which I did try to do offline, without being actually on the server, because streaming, because I was trying to see if just playing on the world would corrupt it or crash it or whatever. Which it did seem like it was the entire world that just didn't want to properly work. Oh, and yep, he's got me. Maybe, yeah. Oh, yep, there we go. Let me just rush back in. Doesn't really matter. And then there was a punishment because of season 2 being with each world being a restart. Season 2 obviously was a restart, and so I had to spin for a punishment, which the punishment for season 2 was no armor. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to not have certain add-ons. I'm going to spin for a random amount, and hopefully the world will act better. And I think that I'm going to keep it on Realms, not opening it up for multiplayer yet, but I do think that doing so will help be able to run the world. And I'm just gonna give that up. But it's kind of sad that I must say goodbye to this world. And all the challenges that I was gonna do. But at the same time, I'm kind of relieved because some of these challenges were pretty difficult. and so it would have taken a long time to complete them. But now, because I'm having to restart, I have to re-roll those challenges. So while they were going to be hard to do, I no longer have to worry about actually doing them. And kind of sucks, but for the purpose of being able to do this series again, I am willing to give that up, just to make it work. But season 3 has season 3 will have a new mechanic to introduce, and that mechanic might change how everything gets run. Because it is either going to be a fun mechanic that gets introduced, or it's going to be one that I'm going to dread. It depends on the punishment, or, well, 2 punishments, the punishments that I spin. Since I have to roll 2 punishments for this world, well, for season 3, because I have to restart. Season 3 is gonna have 2 punishments instead of just 1. Which will be interesting, to say the least. Oh, okay. I tried blocking it off and then I just missed. Placing it. But we'll see about the punishments for season 3. 2 punishments and then a brand new roll of challenges besides the first one, which is beating the game. These are some of the things that we got just from wandering around in here. But that's the Mounts of Mayhem mod, which I think might also be one of the ones in the possible not using. Just because generating structures constantly like this, I believe, is also taking a toll on it. Whoa, both of y'all just rush in here. Okay. Gonna get like a lot of cool stuff from these though. Enchanted golden apple. Would be nice if I was to stay on this world for the Ender Dragon. Just because no armor would have made the end fight so much harder. Phantom frames, this is a nice add-on. You get mysterious magical paintings and place them down and they go somewhere. Take you somewhere. But it's sad that this world is just not what we're gonna stick with anymore. but being true to the challenge, I know I can't. Because that would just, oh, I forgot that I didn't eat one yet and just got a trophy on accident. Oh well. Now I have a memory of this world. Because the screenshot. But anyways, I think that putting it on realms really helps. Because normally we wouldn't have been able to make it this far. So, luckily, though, we are here. It's really not much to say about this world. We really tried and had pretty much nothing to show for it because of how little we were able to get on this world. I'm gonna go take down a dragon while we got this stuff on though. I will test out if it's going to allow us to play around. Oh, you see, these dragons are pretty tough. Oh, okay, wow. Still are pretty tough. Anyways, we're gonna ignore that stuff now. We're just gonna see if the world allows us to have, if the new world, when we start season 3, will allow us to do a whole bunch more things. The challenges might be harder, or they might be easier, because I have added some new challenges to the wheel to spin, which that's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens through it. But there's going to be a new mechanic introduced, like I said, and that new mechanic might be good for us, might be bad for us. It really depends on what our punishments are and what our challenges are for whether it's going to be a good one or a not so good one. Just look at the dragon. We could have had this world. We could have had that dragon. We'll fly around with this dragon for a bit, actually. Gotta toss a saddle on one of these and then fly up. But a restart is necessary for this. See, where's our chicken that's over here? Ow. Where'd our chicken go? Our chicken wandered off. Actually, don't know how I'm gonna keep up with that then. If I get that challenge again. I think technically it despawned for some reason. It shouldn't have because we name tagged it. I didn't see that it popped up that the pet had died. So whatever, we'll figure out how to get over that challenge if we roll it again. But there's so much to this world that would have been so great to use. We're just kind of doing a send-off for season 2. Guess it's the glitchy season. The sequels are never as good as the original, and I guess that, I mean, you could kind of say that it's true for this because the sequel, second season, was just not really that great because it kept on glitching out. So we never really got to experience this whole thing. We'll play around with a bit of this though, just because we're able to. Got the something from the Team Construct. Well, I don't really know too much about this stuff though. I think it was just too many add-ons for my PS4 to run directly from it. Get this stencil things. What else can you do with this? Gotta have more sticks and we'll see what happens. Get more of these vines or whatever they are. Plant fibers. I don't know how to use any of this stuff. We'll figure it out at some point, maybe. Depending on if next season has the Tinker's Construct or not. My dragon wandered off on me. He gets this one over here. Yep, there we go. If you have, let's bring the Earth Slime Bean, the Earth Slime Island has a mob spawner right there for slime. If you have any ideas for games that I should play, please comment them down below and like and subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. hoping that next time it'll be much better and we'll actually be able to do a whole lot more with this with our worlds, because that would just be pretty nice to be able to explore around in. Explore around and do a whole lot more things. I don't know quite what it expects to do with the crafting station instead of just using the normal crafting stuff, though. Just pop into the nether real quick if we can stay alive to do so. Oh look, armor. You wouldn't be able to use it. Oh yeah, I could have broke the rules of the challenge now, considering that this is the send-off for the challenge. But we'll pop into the nether and we'll see how difficult it would have been for me, assuming that I was just to hop in like this. I know I messed up. Hope that creeper doesn't spot us. My hand slipped. My finger slipped from it. Okay, anyways, we're just gonna... Hey. Mysterious painting guy. I'll make it a little bit faster. And of course, skeleton spots us. My dragon, can you save me? My dragon, can you save me? Oh my gosh. Yep, there we go. That could, whoa. That is a whole bunch of monsters. Oh, please don't go down. There's a little owl over there. What? How'd I die? What? I'm sorry, but what was that? How did I have no clue how I died. Um, wow. That was just a random. I don't think the dragons can turn against you. But just kind of randomly, I randomly died. About the same luck as this whole world, I guess. Wanted to be able to pop over to the nether just in survival though. Just to test our luck with things over there. Wasn't like I was killed by a dragon attack though. Otherwise it would have said. And we would have seen that I got killed by a dragon attack. Well, I really don't know what happened there. That's really confusing. What happened right there? Just suddenly killing me. Like a curse that was placed. He was like over here. I think it doesn't want us going to the nether. This challenge definitely would have been hard. This world. So, any clue, dragon, on what happened there? So it wasn't a skeleton. It wasn't a creeper. It wasn't a zombie. And you're sitting down peacefully. We lost like over half our stuff, but that doesn't really matter. Did we lose the bucket? We lost the bucket, but we haven't. But no, really, what happened? There's the bucket. Alright. Let's get rid of these 2 pieces of obsidian. Hi, Al. Imagine we'd have probably had a whole live stream just mining obsidian with that Blazing Caves challenge. Let's fly over to some water real quick. I discovered something new. Something, another baby animal. I don't see it. Come on, I see it. No! Oh my gosh, guys, y'all know how rare this chance is? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh no. That just kind of, I don't even know. That is a 0.0. Oh my gosh, this is like the most adorable thing ever. I love it very much. Hello. I would feed you wheat, but you'd grow up more. Okay. I mean, this automatically makes this world have been the best. Oh my gosh, come here. Come here, you baby pink sheep. You naturally spawning baby pink sheep. That's a 0.0082% chance. And it had to have happened on a world that was already doomed. That's sad. That's devastating right there. Anyways, I'm gonna go get some gravel. That ruined how I felt. Like, it's great and all, but also this world is already doomed. And the fact that a natural spawning baby pink sheep, the second one I have ever seen, is in this world. If it wasn't per the rules, I wouldn't delete the world. But per the rules, I must. Because that naturally spawning baby pink sheep, a very, very rare, very, very rare thing happening. It had to have happened on this world, which was already doomed. We're just gonna continue destroying this and hopefully pop into the nether before stream ends, before I have to cut it off. Well, let's pop into the nether. I don't even think my dragon can fit in the portal. I don't think they can go through the portals. No. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Bye bye, baby pink sheep. Naturally spawning baby pink sheep. Bye. Might not ever see me again. Most likely never. Well, going in. So wouldn't it have been a automatically bad spawn? Considering no armor. Of course, there's always better spawns. Like right in the middle of the fortress, but Also don't have chunk base on. Well, I can't use chunk base, so I'm not gonna look through that I'm not gonna look through that. Even though I did it for the ending of my last world, I'm not doing it for this world because I mean, oh, wow. Wow. You got a bastion right here. Wow. I'm just a naturally spawning baby pink sheep. Another spawn right next to a bastion. Soul Sand Valley would have been close. Meaning that I would have been able to easily get soul sand for the wither. The several stacks of soul sand at. You know what? You're right. We're just not gonna go this way. Several stacks of soul sand that I would need for the wither. I mean, 4 stacks. Put a bastion right at the nether spawn. I mean, sure, it's a stable bastion, I think, but it's a bastion nonetheless, meaning that I should have had gold. I mean, obviously there's gold there. This would have been fine. Salt Delta is not that great. But it would have been easy to get magma cream for fire resistance potions so quickly. Man. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. I'll show y'all the seed real quick before we end the stream. This world could have been great. It could have been probably the best thing ever. Actually, not probably, it would have been the best thing ever. Ow! What? Simply because there's a baby pink sheep. Oh, there's a zombie right next to me. Cool. Wait. Okay. I think I have to leave out of this to actually. Wait, no, there we go. No. Yeah. See this, that packs that we have on here. Tinkers, All the Wool, Owls, Hiker Spring, Tiny Takeover, more TNT, Poison's Potato, Mountain Mayhem, and other furniture, Phantom Frames, Dragon Fire, Spark Pits. But that's the end of it. Um, that sucks. That this world just didn't want to work properly and then brought a natural spawning baby pink sheep into it. The seed for this world is negative 1719885213896178665. And that world. That's it for Challenge Overload Season 2. Season 3 will be up and running whenever I can.